compressor, condenser, metering device, evaporator. Okay, this is liquid line. This is discharge line. And this is suction line. Suction line should only have low temp vapor only, okay? The discharge line should have high temperature, high pressure, what? Liquid or vapor?
Liquid.
Eh.
Oh, I thought it was
Vapor.
the liquid goes into condenser.
Vapor. Because remember, the compressor cannot pump liquid, okay? So it's pumping a vapor. So it now takes that low temperature, low pressure vapor and turns it into a high temperature, high pressure vapor and continues it on into the condenser, where now it exits the condenser into the liquid line as a high temperature, high pressure liquid, okay? Now, when it comes into the metering device and it goes through the metering device, here it's still liquid. As soon as it goes through the metering device, it's now gonna flash off. What percentage of liquid versus vapor? What percentage of liquid versus vapor? Has anybody been through air conditioning? No, you might, yeah. What percentage, and what is that called? It flashes off right there.
Flash gas.
It's called flash gas.
Either 60-40 or 80-20.
80-20, yep. So it's approximately, as it goes through this metering device, it's approximately 80% liquid and 20% flash gas. So about 20% of that refrigerant, as soon as it gets through that metering device, it's got all this room now to run because it's going through a metering device that is, you know, like a little pinhole like that compared to the line that it's going into now, like that. So now it's got room to expand. It immediately wants to expand, so it flashes off as gas. As it's flashing off in gas, that's the point where it begins to absorb heat. Okay, it won't absorb that heat. It can absorb heat as a liquid, but it's not going to absorb it as efficiently. Wait a minute, I take that back. It can absorb it efficiently. There's a couple of different types of evaporators. There's a flooded evaporator and a dry type evaporator. Most of the time we're dealing with dry type evaporators. If you're dealing with chiller units and stuff like that, large commercial units, now you're dealing with wet evaporators or flooded evaporators. All right, so we're up there at the flash gas, and now somewhere between like 50 and 60%, this should be all vapor, about 50 to 60%. Now on this last pass or so, it picks something up. What is that called that picks up? That there's a temperature that it picks up. What is that called? Superheat. Superheat, yep. So we can read superheat from right there on that last pass. And usually we would take that superheat measurement within about 6 inches of the outlet of the evaporator. And then on the other side over here, where we have now taken that high temperature, high pressure vapor, and we've condensed it now approximately 40 to 60% of the way through. It should all be liquid. So it should be all liquid. And on this last pass or two, now we are subcooling. we are subcooling our liquid and taking that, a little bit more heat out of it, okay? And we'll get more into that, but I just wanted to draw up that basic refrigeration cycle because I know I'm gonna be talking about it, and so I just wanted you guys to be able to understand what I'm saying, these different components and stuff like that, exactly what happens, and then, this is actually gonna come up pretty soon, I think, I'll have to look ahead at it, but, basically, your basic components of the refrigeration system and stuff like that. Now, earlier I was talking about a cap tube metering device and an accumulator. If we had the accumulator, it would be located somewhere around here, okay? And now what would happen is, instead of that, that going right in, you know, like that, basically, our metering device would come down here. It could either wrap around this and then go back up there into the liquid line, or it can go right through it. Okay, there's different types of accumulators and stuff like that. And basically what it is remember, this is a high temperature, high pressure liquid up here. So, and it's going through a low temperature, low pressure. Well, if we're in the accumulator, there's a liquid in there, but it's still a low temperature, low pressure. So by putting the high temperature, high pressure liquid through this here, through that metering device, and wrapping it around that, it acts as a heat source and will actually boil off any refrigerant that gets trapped into that accumulator. So we've got the components we're dealing with right now would be compressor, condenser, metering device, and evaporator. And then we'll also put that accumulator. And then we'll keep on adding components as we go. We're gonna add a receiver, we're gonna add bypasses to it, hot gas bypass, pump down, stuff like that. So we'll be adding to that as more time goes on. So, but this here, this schematic is an actual schematic of a working refrigeration system. That is an actual schematic.